Hotel.
November 9, Whiskey Hotel. What is the name there?
Whiskey Hotel. What is the name there?
It's the 415 Amateur Radio Club. It's a club station.
This 415 Amateur Radio Club?
This 415 Amateur Radio Club?
Roger, the name here is Sam, Sierra Alpha Mike.
Roger, Sam, and whereabouts are you, sir?
Roger, Sam, and whereabouts are you, sir?
We are in just north of Crystal Lake, Illinois. QSL?
Yes, sir, Sam, and what radio are you running?
Yes, sir, Sam, and what radio are you running? You're on a FLEX-6400M, 100 watts into an antique 40-meter dipole up about 25 feet or so.
Roger, Sam. Now, would that happen to be a resonant dipole?
Be a resonant dipole?
Yeah, it's rotatable, and it's a aluminum frame type, and it is a loaded dipole.
Roger, Sam. I was just looking around. My options are 4 internet SDR receivers and 3 vertical 10-foot magnetic loop antennas, and I'm still copying you best on Milford. So if you'd be interested in our setup procedure, it starts with you making sure that radio's in the 100 to 2900 transmit bandpass, so the wide 100 to 29, Roger?
So the wide 100 to 29, Roger?
We're set at 2700 right now.
Can you move that up to 29?
Can you move that up to 29?
Stand by.
I'll tell you, well, if you can do that fairly easily, do so. Because what happens is when you operate in lesser modes, you start losing your top-end audio. Your top end is being rolled by the fact that you're in 2700. So if you can get it up to 29, your articulation will be a whole lot better.
Your articulation will be a whole lot better.
Okay, the easy part was to move it from 2.7 up to 3.3. So that was the quick change I made.
Okay, gosh. I wouldn't want you to run that because you're liable to have folks coming by and looking for pitchforks, looking for you with pitchforks. Because 29 is the magic number because it's starting that roll before 3 and before you're in somebody else's lap. Roger?
Before 3 and before you're in somebody else's lap. Roger?
Okay, I understand. But I'm fairly new at the Flex, so I'm not exactly sure how to make that adjustment. But the 2.7 has worked in the past, but obviously it can be improved, I suppose.
Yes, sir. Sam, it would be, and I tell you what, just make a note to self to double check how you can get in the 100 to 2900 bandpass, transmit bandpass. That's what you want. So, but a note to self to check that out later. Now, as far as our setup procedure, starts with your compressor on and add a 3. Add a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, depending on how your input to the compressor is labeled. We just want a third of the compressor, Roger?
Just want a third of the compressor, Roger?
Okay, we just set the high cut to 2900.
Okay, and so how about your compressor now? Compressor on and add a 3 out of 10 or 30 out of 100, depending on how it's labeled?
Out of 10 or 30 out of 100, depending on how it's labeled.
So
Yeah, I had to fight my way back on Milford. They kicked me off again, so I'm back on Milford. I got a good copy on you. Go ahead.
I got a good copy on you. Go ahead. All right, we copy you quite clearly as well. So, you know, on the Flex, the screen data here, the compression goes from 0 to minus 25 dB, and you know is a red scale that moves as I speak. So I'm not exactly sure how to set it, you know, to a particular value. You know, for the speech processor, we have an option of normal, DX or DX plus, you know, which obviously pinches it down as you go up. So right now we're on a DX setting.
Alrighty, now go to your ALC with mic gain in hand, and as you say the magic word audio, don't stress it, just say it, and adjust your level on your ALC to where it reads mid-scale to 2/3 by way of mic gain manipulation.
Doesn't understand what Flex radio is. Audio. Yep, we have a nice mid-level, and we've got our mic gain set to 53 for this one. We're running a PR40, high PR40 into the Flex.
Roger, I'm only copying you about 3 dB over the Milford noise level, so it's really hard to look at your dynamic range when we're that close to the noise. If we had a little bit better signal, I could see precisely where your average peak modulation is occurring. But why don't you tell me about the best thing you like about your radio, and let me listen to you just for a moment.
All right. Well, the best thing is that it's an SDR software-defined radio, and it provides the opportunity to monitor 2 bands while transmitting on 1, and it's smarter than the operator in that it can switch back and forth to between the bands to know which one to transmit on. So this is November 9 Whiskey Hotel. Back to you.
Roger, Sam. Now let me just ask a dumb question. How does it know which band, which frequency to respond to? Is it because there was a signal of a certain level on one of them, or how does that go? We in the software you define a slice A and a slice B, and there's where you set up your frequencies and you know, the various components of your microphone gain or whatever, and as it goes back and forth, as you choose which flag A or B, which slice, then it knows which frequency to deal with. I got you, Sam. I just want to tell you, I get nervous when the radio outthinks the operator. I understand totally, but unfortunately, the operator is the weakest cog here. You know, like I say, I'm on the club station right now, which is set up to handle 2 slices. I happen to migrate from a Qso-991A at home, which I still have, and I've only had that radio for slightly more than a year. I've only had my General for a little over a year, and so I did have the opportunity to buy a pre-loved or pre-used FLEX-6400, and it is set up right now. However, I'm only operating 1 slice because I have not figured out how to make the radio smarter than me. So I understand your concern. So I want to be sure I'm driving the radio and not it me. Yes, sir, Sam. I'll tell you, the thing that drives me nuts is when you have a new radio and it's heavily menu driven. And it's set up in such a manner that if you go to a menu and you do not do something in 10 seconds, it reverts back to somewhere else. that is the most frustrating thing if you're trying to learn a radio, for that menu to keep changing just when you're just about ready to make an adjustment. It goes somewhere else, you know?
I can totally understand. Fortunately, that's not what we have to deal with here. Everything comes up on the screen, for the change in settings, like the equalizer here. There's a slide for each frequency band within the equalizer that you can move up and down. The same thing for the speech processor and just everything that you want to try to set will not change unless you change it. So all right. Well, hey, I appreciate your coming back to me. We just set up this antenna temporarily on a military mast, and we're getting ready for the North American Qso party tomorrow. And we're going to operate out of the club station here and see if we can do any good. The club has operated for 5 years now, and we've done the June field day each of those 5, and then last winter we did winter field day, and before that we did a special event station for the club's 50th year anniversary. So we have a really good time with our club and the activities. So back to you, Case, or at November 9 Whiskey Hotel.
Roger, Sam. Well, that last transmission you were 8 clicks over the Milford PA SDR noise level, so you were much in the clear, and so you have a very good recording. So if you want to hear your radio, I think it's excellent. Looks like about 3 dB dynamic range, which means your average percent of peak modulation is 80 to 85%, and you have a nice top-end tonality on your EQ curve, so very understandable even in heavy QRM situations. And if you want to hear your audio, if you go to YouTube, do that call it a search, KC9VKV, followed by the word logbook. That will take you to this recording. So we'll say 73 now, and you have a great afternoon, beautiful weekend, Roger.
Great afternoon, beautiful weekend, Roger. QSL, appreciate that. KC9GHV.
Call is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor. Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor.
Victor Kilo Victor. All right, thank you. Copied that this time. My own personal call was Kilo Charlie 9 within Gulf Papa Yankee, and so I'm struggling every time. I got to switch over and get my head straight to be for the November 9 Whiskey Hotel club call. But I will look that up, so I'll YouTube it, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, and check that out. So I appreciate you taking the time to help us improve our station. We'll say 7-3. Have a great afternoon. November 9 Whiskey Hotel clear.
Roger, Sam. And if you're at all confused, just check with your FLEX-6400, and it'll let you know what's happening. Catch you later. We have got to get out of here. We've enjoyed it this afternoon. Hopefully you have. If you participated, want to hear your call recorded, if you go to YouTube and do that call it a search, Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor, followed by the word logbook, that will take you to this recording. I'll have it uploaded by noon tomorrow. So with that, I see by the clock on the wall there's a dead fly. Ooh, so we got to get out of here. We will be returning this frequency back to normal amateur radio use. This is Kilo Charlie 9 Victor Kilo Victor clear.